Are we in our own version of the French Revolution? One of my favorite authors out there, historians out there, Victor Davis Hanson. And again, I highly recommend his books. You can take some of his classes for free that he does at Hillsdale. He's a brilliant, brilliant guy. And says we're in a Jacobin revolution, the sort that in 1793 to 1794 nearly destroyed France. And he says, stuff's starting to get scary. He says, Democratic Party vanished sometime in 2020, and it was absorbed by hard left ideologues bent on radically altering, hijacking existing institutions to force radical equality of result agendas that do not earn majority support. But if you listen to the media and some of these people out there, you would think that the people want this stuff. But we know it's not the case. The American people want affordable power. We want to be autonomous. We want energy autonomy. We don't want to be reliant upon the Middle East. I think the overwhelming majority of sober thinking Americans, we don't want to have a stagflationary economy. We don't want to have this bubble burst nonsense with bank failures and interest rates that go up, down, sideways, all over the place. We can't stand crony capitalism, stuff that we rail against again and again and again. And again, I don't think most Americans are for subsidizing people not to work. He goes on, he says, they know no country can exist without a border, much less while offering blank checks to foreign cartels that kill 100,000 Americans yearly. They demand realist deterrence abroad, not the current woke military whose erosion is spelling the end of American credibility and global stability. Radicalists are eerily embracing discredited neo-Confederate notions of racial chauvinism, discrimination, segregation, and the old one-drop rule of racial obsession. They are tuning America toward a balkanized war of all against all. To implement such an unpopular program, the left must change our institutions, pack the courts, and filibusters, destroy the Electoral College, override states' prerogatives. They deny the committee assignments of the House Minority Leader. They engage in stunts like tearing up the State of the Union address on national television. With impunity, they mob the homes of Supreme Court justices to leverage their decision. And again, Victor Davis Hanson says this is run by the elites and it's a top-down operation. University deans all but prompt students to disrupt invited campus speakers. I don't know if you saw that at the University of San Francisco. Or is it San Francisco University? I don't know. There was a speaker there, was a famous speaker. Her name eludes me right now, and I apologize. She was a Division I athlete, I think a swimmer, if I'm not mistaken, and she's been speaking on college campus talking about allowing men to compete in women's sports. And she was attacked. She got pushed. She got hit by these trans activists there. And what did San Francisco University do? Well, nothing. They almost praised the protesters in this case. Anyway, Pentagon lectures the country on its supposed innate racism. He says we continue to lose wars abroad. We abandon billions of dollars to whoever wants it in Afghanistan. We go on and on and on. Words change their meanings. Racist now means don't dare object. White became the pejorative stereotype used by racists. Diversity means tired orthodoxy. Equity is a synonym for bias. Inclusion ensures exclusion. Institutions are no longer recognizable. The FBI as we knew it no longer exists. I don't think it's existed for a very long period of time. Not the FBI that they they like making shows about on TV with this, CIA, FBI, Jack Ryan, Clary Starling there going after Hannibal Lecter. 3 former FBI directors either lied under oath to federal investigators or pleaded amnesia in congressional testimonies. Our highest former national intelligence officers lied under oath to the Senate. IRS weaponized against political opponents. Department of Justice is more likely to send the FBI after grammar school parents than mobs threatening the homes of Supreme Court justices. Still, to thoroughly erase America, our Jacobins must radically alter our customs and traditions. And again, he makes the point. So where did this all come from? Under the cover of COVID quarantines, Election Day was made irrelevant. Was all this early voting and all this other nonsense that's taken place, which we know it's just it's too easy to defraud, not to mention the fact you have no IDs, all this other nonsense that happens in certain states. In the new America, 70% did not vote on the designated day, but fueled by third-party vote harvesting and relaxation of audits of non-election day ballots extended the vote over a period of several weeks. Like the Jacobins, names and dates had to be radically transformed. 1619, that's the new America's birth date, not 1776. Got to take down statues, biological males, hijack women's sports. You got what? Decades, of women's hard-won efforts to achieve equal treatment and respect in athletics. You know what I found out? The women's basketball tournament actually did much better did better ratings in the NHL. Better ratings in the NHL. Do you think that would be the case if there were trans men playing on LSU or Iowa? Oh, no. People would ban it. They'd be like, this is a joke. This is ridiculous. And we all know it. We all know it. What triggered the collective madness in this Jacobin takeover? The left's perfect storm of the 120 days of riot, death, arson, and looting, 2020, COVID pandemic, 2-year lockdown, 2016 election of Donald Trump. All those were catalysts, according to Victor Davis Hanson, and I would agree. And again, Victor Davis Hanson seeing things the way that I presented them. He says the revolution's last gasp is to destroy Donald Trump by empowering him. The leftist legal vendetta is designed to win him just enough empathy to keep him to be nominated the Republican Party's presidential candidate, but then to keep on indicting, gagging, and hemorrhaging him legally until Election Day 2024. It's the same thing that I've been saying. Again, this is where we have to take a couple steps back, and we have to choose a little bit wiser when it comes to our candidates. Again, you want to put an end to this? I do. Again, you're going to need a different form of attack than what has been going on. And again, you have to push back, and we're seeing it. Oh, Anheuser-Busch, they haven't posted on Bud Light's website and social media page since this whole trans nonsense has taken place. People got ticked off. They're tired of having this shoved down their throats. They really have. I mean, the minority is very, very loud. Very loud. Victor Davis Hanson says we have 3 potential futures and 2 of them are bad. First, the Jacobins have 2 more years to finish what they started as the founders' dream descends into our worst nightmare. Second, the revolution has so warped our legal system, our voting on Election Day, and the FBI, the CIA, and the Justice Department, the IRS, that even a despised, unpopular left will win elections. The third is that New York prosecutor Alan Bragg has jumped the shark. His pathetic prosecution is so patently incoherent, illiberal, and in spirit anti-American that 2/3 of the country will soon conclude that the center is not holding and that Jacobin's reign of terror is unsustainable. So that in 2024, the left will not be defeated, but so defeated that it is utterly discredited. And again, that's the type of beatdown that has to happen. And again, that's what we were told was going to happen with Donald Trump. Big red wave, right? Because the Donald Trump candidates and Republicans got their asses handed to them. Let's, again, think that through. Think that through the last 3 election cycles and then start deciding who you want to nominate and who you want to put into positions of power. There's a lot of good people out there, worthy people out there that can turn this ship around. WatchDog on WallStreet.com.